Picture this. You're sitting in that chair again, the one that's become too familiar. Maybe it's beside a hospital bed, or across from a lawyer's desk, or in an empty apartment that once buzzed with laughter. Your heart is heavy, your mind is racing, and those two words keep echoing in the hollow chambers of your chest. Why me? We've all been there, haven't we? In that raw, exposed moment when life strips away our carefully constructed sense of control and leaves us staring into the abyss of uncertainty. And in that moment, we cry out, not just with our voices, but with every fiber of our being. Why me, Allah? Why now? Why this? But here's the thing that'll make you pause and really think. When was the last time you asked, why me? When you were sitting for your final exams. Remember that feeling? Walking into the exam hall, palms sweaty, heart pounding, knowing that the next few hours would determine your future. Did you ever look up at the ceiling and ask, why me? Why do I have to take this test? Of course not. You knew exactly why you were there. You understood that this test was necessary, not just for the grade, but for your growth, your knowledge, your preparation for what lay ahead. When you applied for that job and they handed you an aptitude test, did you storm out asking, why should I prove myself? When you went for your driving test, did you question why you had to demonstrate your skills? When you pursued that certification that would advance your career, did you resent the examination process? No, you accepted it. You even welcomed it. Because you understood that these tests had a purpose. They weren't there to break you down. They were there to build you up, to measure your readiness, to prepare you for greater responsibilities. So why, when Allah, the one who created you, who knows every beat of your heart, every thought that crosses your mind, every dream that keeps you awake at night, why, when He tests you, do you suddenly feel abandoned? Why do you question His wisdom when you never questioned your earthly teachers?
وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ.
Listen closely, beloved soul. These aren't just words on a page. This is Allah speaking directly to you across time and space, preparing you for what every human heart must face. This is your Creator, who formed you in the womb, who gave you your first breath, who has been sustaining you every moment since. This is Him telling you exactly what to expect. It's like a loving parent sitting down with their child before they go off to school for the first time, explaining gently but firmly, "My dear child, you will face challenges. You will encounter moments that will test your courage, your patience, your faith. But I'm telling you this not to frighten you, but to prepare you. And when these moments come, remember that I am with you." From Allah's perspective, I will place uncertainty in your path, not because I delight in your worry, but because I want to see where you turn when the ground beneath your feet feels unstable. Will you remember that I am the only constant in a world of variables? Will you find peace in my presence when everything else feels chaotic? From your heart, the 3 a.m. fears, the what-if scenarios that play on repeat in your mind, the anxiety that grips your chest when you think about tomorrow, next week, next year, that suffocating feeling when you realize how little control you actually have over your life. But here's the thing. This fear isn't your enemy. It's your teacher. It's showing you that human security is an illusion, and divine security is the only reality. From Allah's perspective, I will allow you to experience lack, not because I wish to deprive you, but because I want you to remember that every blessing comes from me. In your hunger, you will learn the value of every morsel. In your need, you will discover the beauty of contentment. In your emptiness, you will find fullness in my remembrance. From your heart, the empty refrigerator, the bills that exceed your paycheck, the dreams deferred because you can't afford them, the ache in your stomach, not just from hunger, but from pride swallowed, from asking for help, from realizing that you're not as self-sufficient as you thought. But in this stripping away, you discover what really matters. You learn that happiness isn't found in having everything, but in being grateful for anything. From Allah's perspective, I will take away your material possessions to show you what cannot be taken. Your worth is not in your bank account, your status is not in your assets, your security is not in your savings. I will remove these temporary things to reveal the eternal treasures within you, your faith, your character, your connection to me. From your heart, the business that failed, the investment that went wrong, the house you had to sell, the lifestyle you had to give up, the looks of pity from people who once envied you, the humbling realization that money can disappear as quickly as it came, but in losing what you thought defined you, you discover who you really are. You learn that your identity isn't your net worth, it's your soul's worth. From Allah's perspective, I will call back to me those you love, not because I am cruel, but because I want to remind you that all souls belong to me. In your grief, you will discover the depth of your love. In your loss, you will find the strength you never knew you had. In your loneliness, you will learn to find companionship in my presence. From your heart, the empty chair at the dinner table, the phone that will never ring again with their voice, the bed that feels too big, the house that feels too quiet, the world that feels too harsh without them in it, the physical ache of missing someone so much it hurts to breathe. But in this deepest pain, you also discover the deepest love. You learn that death isn't the end of love. It's love's true beginning. You understand that every goodbye is really until we meet again. From Allah's perspective, I will sometimes withhold the results of your efforts, not because your work is worthless, but because I want to teach you to work for my pleasure, not just for outcomes. Your value isn't in your achievements, it's in your intention, your effort, your persistence despite setbacks. From your heart, the job you didn't get despite being perfect for it, the relationship that ended even though you gave it everything, the project that failed despite your best efforts, the dreams that seem to slip through your fingers like sand, the feeling that you're running on a treadmill, expending energy but going nowhere. But here's the secret. You're not running nowhere. You're running toward who you're meant to become. Here's what happens when you shift your perspective. The same situations that once made you feel victimized now make you feel chosen. Not chosen for punishment, but chosen for growth. Not selected for suffering, but selected for strength. Every test becomes a conversation with Allah. Every challenge becomes a chance to prove your faith, not to Him, He already knows, but to yourself. Every difficulty becomes a doorway to discover capabilities you never knew you had. When fear grips you, instead of asking, "Why me?" you start asking, "What is this fear trying to teach me? How can I find courage in this moment?" When loss breaks your heart, instead of asking, "Why me?" you start asking, "How can I honor what I've lost? How can I find meaning in this pain?" Allah doesn't just promise tests. He promises that with every test comes relief. He promises that He will never burden you with more than you can bear. He promises that every difficulty is paired with ease. He promises that those who remain patient during trials will be rewarded beyond their imagination. But here's the most beautiful promise of all. Every test is proof that Allah believes in you. He doesn't test those He's given up on. He tests those He's preparing for something greater. So the next time you find yourself asking, "Why me?" remember this. You're not being singled out for punishment. You're being specially prepared for purpose. Your test isn't random. It's precisely calibrated for your soul's growth. The same Allah who tests you is the same Allah who loves you. The same Allah who allows difficulty is the same Allah who provides relief. The same Allah who takes away is the same Allah who gives abundantly. Trust the process. Trust the teacher. Trust that every question mark in your life is actually an exclamation point in disguise, declaring, "You are stronger than you know, more loved than you realize, and more prepared than you believe." Your test is not your testimony of weakness. It's your testimony of strength. Not your proof of abandonment, but your proof of selection. Not your evidence of punishment, but your evidence of preparation. So breathe, beloved soul. You're exactly where you need to be. Learning exactly what you need to learn. Becoming exactly who you're meant to become. The question isn't why me? The question is, how will I let this transform me? And that, dear heart, is a question only you can answer.